Hello there. Um, Sorry about the sun. Um, you know, I've I've wanted to record these kind of videos, not this video in particular, but this type of videos for quite some time now. And just today, I realized that usually I go out for walks, just like right now, going out in a walk after lunch, and I usually would talk to myself like this. I would talk to myself, but not only to myself, but also to, like I was talking to an audience that wasn't really there, but that I always thought and hoped that that audience was going to be there, in the future sometime. And I've recorded some videos in my house. For the last 2 years, but it's only been a couple of videos, and that is because I always feel I am not good enough to record those type of videos. So excuse the no, forget about the sun, just listen to me. And I have never felt good enough for the type of content that I want to create, and that is because I want to help guys to quit and be free from pornography and masturbation. And when you want to talk to people in that situation, you feel like you have to be already there, like you have been free from both of these things for 1, 2, 3 years, right? In order to have authority to speak on the subject, right? And there is some truth to that. I'm not going to say it's not completely off having that intuition, but I do feel it's been harmful for me because over the last years I have made quite real good progress, and because of this fear that I'm not good enough, that I'm not there, that I'm not in a perfect streak, or I have not been in a perfect streak for 2 or 3 years, that I'm not worth doing this type of content, that has kept me down, and out of attempting to make these kinds of videos. So I will tell you a bit of my story regarding pornography and masturbation. Just a couple years. Obviously, I don't want to go into the detail of, when I was a kid and was exposed to that, although I may do it in a future video. And okay, so over the last couple years, when I was in university, usually I was very busy, so I don't remember seeing pornography as an issue or as a big issue for me. And that was until I had a girlfriend. And when I had a girlfriend and she eventually found out about me watching pornography, I say, okay, I'll stop. And somewhat I did, actually. I stopped watching full-on pornography, but I was still like prisoner to soft pornography, like Instagram posts, and this was like back in 2018, 2019. and occasional relapses into normal pornography. And after that, um, well, a lot happened. Let's just fast forward to the pandemic and after the pandemic, and yeah, you know what? Probably it's too short of a time to go into the details of my pornography history. Let's just say that I've tried a lot of things, and some of them have worked. Actually, I considered myself free from pornography for over 400 days, and this is a free in quotes, because although I think I didn't relapse in full pornography videos, I hope I'm not lying about that. I did relapse into watching like what some consider soft core pornography, like occasionally a peek into a naked woman body or something like that. But those 400 days were over 2 years ago, I think, or no, 1 year and a half, something like that. It's over a year ago for sure. And after that, I've been, on and off. Like I've had relapses of like a week, couple days, 2 weeks, and then a period of freedom in between, like I don't know, a month, a couple weeks, 2 months. I think it's been the most of it. And with masturbation, so let's just finish pornography first, and that's been sort of my recent history. And well, I had some YouTube videos in Spanish actually about the things that I've done that have helped me, and I'll just throw some of them. They were turning my smartphone into a dumb phone. So right now, by the way, I relapsed yesterday, and even though I relapsed yesterday, I'm feeling quite hopeful about the whole subject, because well, many reasons really. I will not enter into details, but I'm feeling hopeful about pornography and masturbation in my life. I feel like I am finally going to have some serious victory. I'm not saying that I'm not going to relapse again, but that is actually going to be the target. Yeah, so before entering into giving details about that, about something I've realized recently, via watching a podcast, actually, I think. It's a good idea. I'll try to put it in practice, but I have lived what they were teaching in myself like before, so I know there is some truth to it, and it makes sense, but we'll go into that after I finish you giving some tips on what actually helped me really into pornography. Obviously, if you're a Christian, I am a Christian, you have to pray, you have to read your Bible, you have to be strong spiritually, talk to your pastor if you can, or to your elders, and yeah, but it's obviously the case that the Lord has not seen fit to giving victory to us in this area like that easily, like He has done to us in other areas. If you have been born again, I don't know why I did that, but it's maybe because it's a overly used term sometimes. But if you have been really born again, you saw yourself before and after. And so you know that the Lord has the power to do these kinds of miracles, and there's people that have been freed from all kinds of drugs. So it happens in this area. One of the fruits of the Spirit is actually self-control. So there's that, and if you continue to walk in the faith, I believe you can grow in your self-control. And one second, and there is that. But it's also the case that one of the teachings of Jesus was, if your eye causes you to sin, if your hand causes you to sin, you have to cut it off. You have to, and obviously we don't take this literally, but we do take it seriously, and that means to have and take radical action against sin, right? And so the things I'm going to say to you are some form of doing this, and that was turning my phone into a dumb phone. And I'm not buying a dumb phone, although if you can do a full switch, that's great. But for me, for job, banking, whatever reasons, it wasn't really possible. But if you have an Android phone, using ADB debugging, which is sort of a developer tooling, you can search online. You can actually delete almost anything from your phone. So you can, those apps, especially the Google apps, like YouTube and Google Chrome and just Google search and the very same Play Store, that you can delete any app you want. But if you have access to browsers, or you have access to apps, the App Store, the Play Store, you can just reinstall anything. So at the end of the day, it's like you're not doing anything, because you just a couple of clicks to reinstall the app, and off you go. You have access to whatever. So the thing that really helped me was deleting all browsers, all social apps, any app that has potentially access to inadequate content, and obviously the Play Store, which is the source of all of this. So by doing that, and if you want to reinstall things, you actually have to connect your phone to your computer, because you do this via your computer, and doing that is such a high friction thing that doing it is you have to be very conscious about what you're doing. If you have your phone, alone with your phone, any place without your computer, you just cannot do it. And that's great. It's actually very freeing. Very freeing to sorry, all of this time I've been watching the screen of the camera. All of this time, it's a very freeing experience to just having your phone by your side and not having the pressure of, I could grab it and start scrolling, or I could grab it and access to pornography, because by the way, this is not just pornography, right? This is access to the doom scroll, this is access to cheap dopamine, this is all of the problems that you modern phones have that steal your attention, made a resource out of you, like the phone is using you more than you're using the phone as a tool. All of these kinds of problems, they just disappear when you do this to your phone. And this, what I'm going to say now, is going to clash with what I want to say next, but I'll say it anyways. I like to use the analogy of a guy that has a cigarette addiction, and he wants to be free, says he wants to be free, but everywhere he goes he has a pack of cigarettes with him. In his desk he has one, he always carries one in his backpack, in his trousers. In every place he goes, in every room of his house, he has a pack of cigarettes. And he's telling you he wants to be free. This is an insane situation. Obviously, you see the analogy. It's like someone wanted to be free from pornography like 20, 30 years ago. He would carry a backpack full of pornography magazines everywhere he went. It's laughable. It's ridiculous a situation. And that is our situation with smartphones. So I believe, even though it's going to clash with what I want to say next, for the time being, I do believe that even if you're free, if you get free from this issue of pornography, it's never wise to have a full-fledged device on your hand, like with access to internet or whatever. Because of this very same reason. It just doesn't seem wise to have that kind of access. So you can do that. So that is going to take control of your phone. If you're like me and you spend a lot of time in computers because of your job or what you do, or just like to use your computer a lot, you can use a software called Turkey Blocker, which is very powerful. And that will limit all your browsing to just one browser. And in that browser you can force safe search with other configurations, but I'm just telling you these things like off the top of my head. I'm not giving you precise instructions, but today with AI you can just ask Gemini how to force safe search in my computer, or in my browser, or Google Chrome, whatever you use. So these two things help me a lot, which are external things, they are not internal. Internally, what really helped me was reading the Psalms, the book of Psalms in the Bible. That was really powerful for me, and it was correlated with quite the streak that I had. And so I recommend, if you are a Christian, read the book of Psalms, and maybe they will have the same effect on you that they had on me, and they will help you out in this journey. I actually would like to reread the book of Psalms when I finish reading the other books of the Bible that I'm currently trying to read. So there's that. And recently I learned something which, I wanted to say in this video, but probably it's better to do a good video, and actually I have to go back to my house and to work. But essentially was a podcast which was called I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name, but it was like it was about like any impulsive behavior, compulsion. No, sorry, I cannot remember right now, but I'll probably go back to listen to it, and in a future video I will give you the name. But essentially, what their thesis was that, um, well, they have a lot of things that I think are useful, but what I mostly what I gather about what they were saying was that it's actually easy to just stop cold turkey and stop, and no relapses, and that relapses are actually not part of the recovery process. They hinder the recovery process, and just the easiest way to get free from this kind of any compulsion addiction actually, but also regarding situation was just stop, don't look back, never to fall on it again. And I think, and the reason they gave for this was that when you engage in this type of addictive behavior, right, generates these dopamine and pleasure chemicals, transmitters, whatever the word is, in your brain. You create sort of a feedback loop. The neural pathways that are associated with this behavior get reinforced, right? And the way that neural pathway is kept healthy and reinforced healthy, in the sense that, is to actually just repeating the behavior. This is the same with any skill, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. So that's the principle. So if you stop doing it, never do it again, never re-trigger those pathways, they are just always getting weaker and having less power over you, because those neural pathways are dying out. If you relapse, you are using that again, and it gets reinforced again and starts getting more powerful. So that's what I'm hoping to have in mind, to actually just